Jamaica just delivered a Commonwealth Games moment that you simply cannot look away from. The first ever Commonwealth Games mixed 4x4 meter relay already had history written all over it, but Jamaica decided to make history in the most dramatic way possible. Because when it came down to that final leg, Jamaica was chasing. The gap was there. The pressure was enormous. Gold looked like it was slipping away. And then Dejane Oakley stepped onto that final stretch and completely changed the story. Welcome back to Josely Commentary, where we break down the moments that have the whole track and field world talking. And before we get into this unbelievable race, I want to take a moment to appreciate everyone who has subscribed, everyone who keeps coming back, and especially all the new subscribers joining the family. Thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome to Josely Commentary. Make yourself comfortable because today we're talking about one of the wildest Jamaican finishes we've seen at these Commonwealth Games. Full credit to the original broadcasters of these race footages. Let's watch this and then we're going to break it down properly.
White and red, fourth from left, but it's so hard to tell with the stagger unwinding after 500 metres correctly. Good running from the Australian lead-off athlete here. Sherman down the home straight is already past Young of Scotland. Great running too from England's Nathaniel. He maybe leads here as they come down to the first changeover. Nigeria, remember, will be strong throughout in that green strip.
I think the baton going to Nigeria just as Ezekiel Nathaniel, the 400-metre hurdles champion, doing a great job. We've already lost Zambia, unfortunately. Their lead leg runner pulled off with 100 metres run of the race. The Nigeria striding down to the back straight, but it is Australia. Amir Gross, who's a brilliant 200-metre runner. I think she's using that speed to good effect here in the relays. She did it in the heats as well, streaking ahead at the break. And it's going to be Kenya challenging Nigeria for second place. George of Nigeria trying to hold the inside. And here comes Yemi Mary John of England, the sixth place individual athlete in the 400 metres. But Mia Gross has run a fantastic leg here, just keeping her team out of trouble. Her handover is going to be simple. Look at this, the other athletes are going to be cutting each other up, looking for the next runner.
Well, they hand over and it's Australia in the lead. The third leg runner for Australia heads out. It's Reynolds who goes out in the lead. England in second place. Good running this from Harris. Lovely leg there from Yummy Mary John, making up for a sixth place in the individual 400 this morning. And a big challenge here from England. This is an early attack, trying to get past the Aussie run. He cuts in maybe a bit early there. That might lead to an appeal. The Australian being bulked, certainly. I'm not sure there was room for Harris to get through, but he does it anyway. The Australian in second place will have fire in his belly here yet. Reynolds as they come off the bend, handing over now for this final leg feed. Nigerians have made good progress here. Ogazi, the individual 400 champion, has made massive inroads and will hand over marginally in the lead.
Wow, look at that. Three teams side by side as they go into the final leg of the mixed 4x4. Lena Nielsen was fourth in the individual 4 hurdles. And look at the sprint from the Nigerian athlete, Onajuwebo. She was third in the 400 metres individually. Dejane Oakley, though, is chasing hard. The Jamaican won that women's 400 metres. Nigeria have got quite the lead here ahead of England. Australia now coming under pressure from Jamaica. Dejane Oakley, 48-second runner this season. Surely she can't do it. She can't hold back the massive lead of Onajuwebo here. She's going to have a go. Onajuwebo into the home straight. Dejane Oakley pulls alongside, pumps her arms hard. Look at this from Jamaica. Lena Nielsen coming through for second with England, but Dejane Oakley makes it 2 golds today at the Commonwealth Games. Lena Nielsen held her nerve to bring them home.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching that race. Now let's see the scene. This wasn't your ordinary 4x4 relay. This was the first ever Commonwealth Games mixed 4x4 meter relay, meaning men and women were competing together in the same relay. That alone made this race historic. But Jamaica wasn't there simply to participate. Jamaica came looking for gold. From the opening leg, you could immediately feel the intensity. Every athlete knew that one mistake could completely change the race. The first runners came out aggressively, trying to establish position early, and that's exactly what makes the 4x400 meter so fascinating. You can have a brilliant opening leg and still lose the race. You can be behind halfway through and still come roaring back. And that's exactly what you are about to witness. As the race developed, the lead kept moving. One team would pull ahead, another would respond. The exchanges became absolutely critical because in a mixed relay like this, you are not just racing the clock, you are racing strategy, you are racing positioning, and you are trying to hand that baton to your teammate in the best possible position. Jamaica stayed in the fight, but as the race moved toward the final legs, it started looking increasingly difficult. The pressure was building, the crowd was watching, and Jamaica suddenly found itself with work to do. Then came the final exchange, and that's when everything changed. Jamaica's final leg was handed the baton to Dejane Oakley. And let me tell you something, that final leg was not for the faint-hearted. Jamaica had a gap to close. The leaders were already moving. The finish line was getting closer, and Oakley had one job: chase. She didn't have the luxury of waiting. She couldn't afford to panic. She had to trust her speed, trust her training, and trust that there was still enough track left. And she went after them, the comeback. This is where I think Jamaican fans watching this race probably started screaming at their screens, because Oakley wasn't simply maintaining the gap. She was eating into it, meter by meter, step by step. The deficit that had looked so dangerous suddenly didn't look quite so impossible, and this is what separates a great relay leg from an unforgettable one. You have to believe the race is still yours even when the scoreboard says otherwise. Oakley kept pushing. The pressure was massive, but instead of breaking under that pressure, she looked like she was getting stronger, and suddenly Jamaica was right there. The finish line was approaching. The gap was disappearing, and now the entire race had been transformed. That final stretch, then came the moment, the final straight. Oakley unleashed everything she had. No hesitation, no looking back, just pure determination. Jamaica was fighting for history, and the athletes ahead knew they were being hunted down. This wasn't just a relay anymore. This was a battle for gold. And as Oakley powered toward the line, the entire race seemed to turn upside down. The team that had looked comfortable suddenly had Jamaica breathing down its neck. And then Jamaica crossed the line. Gold! In the first meter ever Commonwealth Games mixed 4x4 meters relay. Think about that for a second. Jamaica didn't just win a race. They became the first Commonwealth Games champions in this event. That's history. And that's why I think this performance deserves so much attention. People sometimes look at Jamaican athletics and immediately think about the 100 meters. Usain Bolt, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, Ellen Thompson-Herah, the explosive sprinting. But moments like this reminds us that Jamaican track and field is about much more than individual brilliance. It is also about teamwork. It is about composure. It's about passing that baton. It's about knowing that your teammate is depending on you. And when the pressure reaches its highest point, deliver. That's exactly what Jamaica did. The big question now, I want to ask you something. Was this Jamaica's craziest finish of the Commonwealth Games? Because we've already seen incredible performances throughout these games. But a comeback in the first ever mixed 4x4 meter relay. A final leg fight like that. And then walking away with gold. that's difficult to top. For me, the most impressive part wasn't simply the medal, it was the mentality. Jamaica could have looked at the gap and accepted second place. Instead, Oakley kept fighting until there was nothing left to give, and that's the Jamaican spirit we love to see. So Jamaica has done it again, a historic event, a dramatic final leg, a comeback that had fans holding their breath. And goal for Jamaica. Dejane Oakley didn't just run the final leg, she turned the final stretch into a statement. And moments like this are exactly why we watch track and field, because sometimes you think you know how the race is going to the end until Jamaica changes the ending. If you enjoyed this reaction, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Josely Commentary, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the next Jamaican track and field moment. And to everyone who has already subscribed, thank you. To the new subscribers, welcome to the family. Now, tell me in the comments, was this Jamaica's craziest Commonwealth Games finish yet? And what did you think when Dejane Oakley started closing that gap? Until the next one love, Jamaica. And remember, never count Jamaica out until that finish line is crossed. See you in the next one. Respect.